You know you're gonna see the best, the worst with the Shit Flick Critic. You know you're gonna see shit that's absurd with the Shit Flick Critic. From Pandemic the Room, Samurai Cop Troll 2, Man on Sense of Fate, Mama Connection 2. So come along, take the words with me. I'm the Shit Flick Critic, Self-Isolation Edition. Hello everyone, my name's Andrew Lewis and I'm the Shit Flick Critic, and welcome to yet another episode of my Self-Isolation Edition. Now you might be asking yourself, what does that mean? And I got a couple comments of people asking what this new format is, so I thought I'd just, I think it does bear repeating, so I'll just state it again. These episodes, I'm doing self-isolation in England at the moment. I've only been here in England for about 3 weeks now. So I don't have any of my things with me. And I'm just staying at some lady's house that I met in an airport. So I haven't really gotten set up, but given that I've got a lot of time on my hands because I got no idea how long the self-isolation is going to go on for, I decided to make some really bare-bone episodes for y'all, and in a way that I can both retain my sanity, give me something to do, and get to make episodes, because it has been a while and I did miss making these things. Just so you all know, I am going to be going back to my old format as soon as I've gotten everything sorted out. So something else worth noting too is I'm not really going to review any like gold movies in these episodes. These are going to be more reserved for like just sort of the smaller caliber stuff, because those bigger movies like your Neil Breen's Cool Cat Saved the Kid, I'm going to be saving for my older format. But okay, well, let's get started with this episode. So today I have a special treat for y'all. I have a movie called, I don't really even know how to pronounce that number, but it's called that, and then a little colon, and then Shark Odyssey. It's based on Space Odyssey 2001. I think that number, I just want to say 0, because I think it's just 0, but it could be 1,000. I don't know. 1,000. Maybe it's 1,000. Because if 1,000, anyway, I don't know. But so this movie, the reason why it's special is because I actually got contacted by the creator of this particular film. His name is he's a Swedish gentleman. His name is Iki. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. I don't want to sound like the Swedish chef from Muppets, but it could be Iki. But he's from Sweden, and when I was in my hiatus from doing these episodes, I got an email from this gentleman stating that he'd made a movie and that it hadn't gotten very good reviews, and that he was wondering if I could review it and tell him where he went wrong, given that I'm the Shit Flick Critic. He'd seen some of my episodes. So that was about a year ago, so I told him that I would watch it, but I didn't really have the time or wasn't in the good place. So now I have watched it, and it's something else. It's pretty unique. It's what I wasn't basic. Okay, let's do the story, shall we? Because that's a good introduction. Sorry, I dropped a bit of oil on this. I should make another one. So I don't even really know what the plot is. When he said in his email that this was basically Space Odyssey 2001 with sharks, and I don't think that's the case. It's basically, according to him, according to the IMDb explanation of the movie, because there is an IMDb page, it's in the year quadruple zero. I still don't really know how to pronounce that. If any of you out there are mathematicians and you know, please feel free to send me an explanation. In the year quadruple zero, the world is inhabited by sharks who speak the sharkish language. But one day, everything seems to be coming to an end. Unknown forces want to manipulate these sharks using anagrams. And really, it's just a very crudely drawn, I don't even want to say animation, because none of the animations really, they're not really animated. They're more just still pictures that just kind of pop in and out. Just so you guys know, I drew a couple. I went through, I know this is partial copyright infringement, but just so you understand the caliber of these pictures that are shown. These are some of them. I very faithfully drew these, by the way. I actually probably accidentally drew these better than how they appear in the film, but this is one of them. So this is one character talking to another character. I believe this is our main character. I don't know. It was kind of hard to follow, but I think. And as I said, these are still frames, by the way. Like, these characters don't move. Another thing worth mentioning is the whole film is opposite. It's black and all the characters are drawn with white lines, but I didn't want to waste a Sharpie drawing all these, so I thought I'd just do it inverted and let you guys use your imagination. But yeah, so black, white. So yep, there's that one. What's it? This is the classic boardroom scene. I guess that's our main character. I'm not sure. Again, not really stated. That's it really. I don't know. It kind of speaks for itself. And I believe this is our main character in his house. You can see the door there. I believe that's a table, and I can't remember in the scene what he was doing, sort of exactly, but that's the caliber of the drawings that are in it, and it's also accompanied by music. And the way that I would describe the music is, when you see those videos on YouTube of like people that dress cats in human clothing and their arms are flopping around on a keyboard, but they're playing actual songs over the top. This music is what that cat would have been playing. It's just like bing boom, bing boom, bing boom, bing. Some of it's actually quite nice, I will say. It's very atmospheric, and I didn't totally dislike all the music. So I think that's one of the things that this movie has going for it is, it's because the thing that I struggled with this movie is I don't know where it was coming from. Because when this gentleman, Enying, when he reached out to me, he made it seem like he thought he'd made a good movie and that everyone thought it was shit and he didn't know where he went wrong. But looking further into it, it seems that I really do think that this is a satire and this is kind of making fun of art house films or something along that nature. Because even in the comments to the whole movie is up on YouTube. In the comments, someone said, "Is this a satire?" And he responded, I have it here. He said, in his reply, "Originally I was trying to make movies that are as bad as I could possibly make them. Then I shifted my goals to making something that fits into the so bad it's good category. So I think this isn't supposed to be good. The question remains, is it so bad it's good?" I liked it, because if you look at this as an anti-film, sort of in the same vein as, like, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Mr. Bungle. I think it's the gentleman who was the lead singer in Faith No More. He does his own solo stuff that's just like music, unmusic. It's everything that is music, it is not. And that's why I consider this film to be an anti-film, because it's everything a film shouldn't be. It's boring. It's nonsensical. It's hard to... There's lots of sudden noises and stuff. So in that sense, I feel like if he tried to make a movie that was unwatchable, he certainly succeeded, because this movie is basically unwatchable. There's... The biggest problem with it is how boring it is. Like, I actually like the bits. There's no actual actors in this film. It's all text to speech. So it's like, "Hello, how are you today? There he is over there." I actually kind of liked some of the dialogue. I thought it was kind of kooky. Like, there's lots of really lame shark puns, which I feel like are on purpose. Like, "What the shark are you doing?" And they're really But the thing I didn't like the most is, like, this movie, I'm not exaggerating, like, probably a quarter of this movie is just the credits alone, because he literally, like, he credits this gentleman, Icky, he credits himself for everything. And a lot of it seems quite redundant. Like, and this is the actual list, so I'm not going to put you through, because these text things, they come on for about 4 or 5 seconds, but this is what he credits himself as. Again, a lot of it he could have just sort of put under one umbrella. Like, so directed by, script by, written by, writing by, production by, produced by, oversight. And I like how he included himself as he did the oversight, because he's got such a big team that he needs to look over, i.e. himself. Music by, lyrics by, songs by, composition by, score by. Again, you probably could have just gone music by, but anyway. Art direction by, animation by, visual effects by, animator by, which doesn't really make sense. Effects supervisor, editing, editor, short Vision narrator. I'm not sure what that one meant, but yeah. So he basically he credits himself a lot, and if the credits themselves don't take up the most amount of time, there's also a huge portion of it devoted to just laughter with black. I'm not exaggerating. It's just for about 25 minutes. It just goes completely black, and you just hear laughter. So that also takes up a huge chunk of the movie. Characters just standing. I mean, they don't move anyway, but I assume that they're standing motionless to music going bing bong bing bong. Also takes up a good chunk of the movie. And yeah, it's I think that the only thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way about this is this gentleman contacted me, and me thinking that he made this with the intentions of it being a well-received film, and that he worded it that he didn't know what went wrong. I feel like maybe what he's doing is he created a film specifically to be unwatchable, and to get people to watch it, he contacted reviewers on YouTube to say, hey, look, I tried to make this movie, can you review it? Hoping it would be lambasted, and then he could get some kind of recognition. So in that sense, I'm kind of a bit, as I said, I feel like I'm being used a little bit. I'm not angry, but it's just like, but at the same time, like, it's art in a sense. Like, it's just as hard to make every wrong decision as it is to make every right decision. And every wrong decision was definitely made in this production on purpose. Yeah, and as I said, like, it feels very Lynchian in nature too. My girlfriend, she's a big fan of David Lynch, and she actually got quite a lot out of this. She enjoyed it. She liked the music. She liked the style. I thought it was a bit boring, and I thought there were lots of lulls. I did kind of laugh. Like, there's one scene that is just so stupid it's funny, but the character wakes up in his house, which I very eloquently drew for you. He wakes up in his house and he refers to everything with shark in front of it. So it's like, I have woken up in my shark house. Time to go and eat my shark breakfast and do my shark thing. I don't know why I thought it was funny. It's just because it was so insistent that everything he said involved the prefix shark. So I found that funny. All the shark puns and everything. It's what I just think in the right context, people would love this film. If you took this to some kind of like uni event in like film school, because I went to film school in Australia, if you played this to my class when I was there, there'd be about a handful of students that were just like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I understand. I think I understand what he's trying to say with this. So I do think it has an audience. It's just not for everyone. So if you are going to watch this, I would be careful, because it's odd. But at the same time, this guy, I mean, he's producing lots of stuff. I think he's already got another film out. It does, as I said, it's had a lot of effort put into it, so I can't poo-poo it for that. He's tried. I don't even know what to make of this thing. But either way, I'd still check it out. At least just have a look and leave a comment for him and just see what it's like. I was also thinking about trying to get a hold of him, because I'd like to maybe have him as a guest on the show. So if any of you guys think that that's a good idea, I can, he did personally send me an email, so I feel like I could try and get him on here and see what his intentions were. Is there anything else worth talking about? Not really. It's something else, but it's I'm trying to think. There's one other thing that takes up about 50% of the movie. If it's not just the credits, it's either people laughing, or it has an intermission, which is funny. This whole movie could have been like 5 minutes long, but instead it's like an hour and 10 minutes. So yeah, just I'll put the link in the description below. But with that being said, that was a very efficient episode. So let's do the rating, shall we? The rating of Quadruple Zero, Shark Odyssey. Laughability. I did laugh once. As I said, I found all the shark prefixes funny for some reason. It was kind of just a knee jerk. I wouldn't necessarily call it ha funny. Yeah, it was, and as I said, it does get a bit tiring, because yeah, rewatchability. I'm probably never watching this thing again. It's a hard slog. And I had to do something else while I was watching it. I couldn't just sit because I found it boring. So I was like writing notes and stuff. But yeah, it was tough. The pace, oh god, the pace. I mean, I think he did make this thing to be unwatchable, so it does have a terrible pace, but I guess that's the point. Production value, I mean, the animation is, I can't even say animation. The pictures that he's drawn are terrible, and it's like something a 6-year-old would do. There's only one scene where something actually moves. The rest of the time I can tell that he's used some program where everything's on different layers and he's just taking one layer off to make a character disappear. So it's not even really animated. So I think he probably spent about $3 on this altogether. And the intention, again, that's the hardest thing to pinpoint. But I think that he did make this to just, I don't know if it's to just mess with people or if he just wanted to experiment to see if he could make the most unwatchable thing ever. But either way, like, he tried something. So, and I can't fault him for, again, it's not like he was trying to make money out of this. But, apparently there's 2 sequels to this too, and I don't know if I can watch those after having sat through this. So, I didn't do the stars. Well, I didn't make them, but I can just tell you. I would give... stars, I don't even know. I'd give this like -3. 2.5 we'll give it, because I like what he's done with it, but it's hard to watch. And as I said, if he did contact me under false pretenses, I'm a little bit hurt by that. So I've taken away 2.5 stars for that. But that's it. Either way, just go check it out. He's got loads of other stuff too. He's a very interesting artist. Again, like, he could be a genius. I don't know, but it's worth having a look. Now that we've ended that, I'm going to tell you another traveling story. So I was in Virginia and I'd just been dropped off and I was trying to hitchhike out of Virginia. I wanted to try and get to North Carolina. But while I was just was on the side of the road and stuck my thumb out, a cop came up and told me that hitchhiking wasn't legal in Virginia, which I didn't know. So I ended up having to catch a bus to Raleigh in North Carolina. And I was in this town, and apparently the crime was just terrible. And the hotel was like super cheap too, which made me even more worried. It was really frustrating because I'd already booked the bus at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I decided I found a really cheap hotel. And I thought, I'll leave later in the morning now. So I went to the lady at the bus counter and I said, I just booked a ticket. Can I just book it for a couple hours later? She's like, it's going to be an extra $30. I was like, all right, don't worry about it then. So I slept in this really, really dodgy hotel, got up at God knows when in the morning, got the bus, got to Raleigh at probably I think it was like 8 or 9. I thought, I'll get some breakfast. And I went into this Confederate-themed diner. So you walk in and there's just Confederate flags all over the wall. There's all pictures of Confederate soldiers doing stuff. And I thought, man, do I feel out of place? Because there's all these like very sort of in their 60s people eating, and there I am with my backpack and my guitar. So I sat down, and this dude just came up and he's like, oh, I love your guitar. He's like, I play guitar too. I was like, oh, no way. And he sat down talking to me, and he's like, I'll get you breakfast. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. So he bought me breakfast, and he's like, I'll show you around Raleigh. I'll take you to the museum. So he took me to the museum, and we had a great day. And then he took me back to his place, and we played guitar together. And he just had the funniest accent. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen Forrest Gump, but pretty well word for that. He's like, when we're playing guitar, he's like, I tell you what, I'm going to go get my songbook. And he was also like, at one point, he's like, I want to show you a song on YouTube. But I had a lovely time. It was Stuart, his name was. And and I got up the next morning. He gave me some free T-shirts, and I was off to where did I go the next day? To Wilmington in North Carolina. So that's the one thing about the whole journey that I went on. It's just the amount of strangers that just met me and were just like, hey, stay at my place, and I want to do this for you. People going just out of their way to help me was wonderful. So all in all, it was a fantastic experience. And we're almost at 20 minutes, so thus concludes my video, and I will play you out with one little song for y'all. You know you're gonna see the best, the worst with the Shit Flick Critic. You know you're gonna see shit that's absurd with the Shit Flick Critic. From Pandemic the Room, Samurai Cop Troop 2, Man, I sense a fame I'm a connection to. So come along, see the worst with me. I'm the Shit Flick Critic. I'm gonna try and get this video exactly on 20. I hope everyone's doing well with the corona stuff too. I think England's going to extend the week, so I'm going to be doing this for a while longer. But either way, lovely seeing y'all. I'll catch you later.